This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I've been covering the Olympics this week, letting people know of some of the stuff with the social tracking that they're doing with the athletes there, the spying on their phones. This is all stuff we can prep for. The robots, being waiters and waitresses. All these things I've covered over the years, and how the New World Order plan is being spotlighted in a sense over there. And if you haven't seen the video I did on the opening ceremony, I recommend you check it out. A lot of people have messaged me saying, when are you going to cover it? When are you going to cover it? I covered it already, so maybe you didn't get the notification, so check it out if you want to see it. And, the Olympics is a really big stage, right? As far as ratings go, people seem to watch. Don't ask me why, but they seem to watch it. And whenever the eyeballs are on the TV, they always love to market and show things to people that are coming. They also love to do things like this. And should we be surprised at the Olympics? Probably the most popular thing is the figure skating at the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. Everyone seems to enjoy that. And why wouldn't they have somebody out there mocking Jesus, right? What a surprise. There's no mocking of Buddha. There's no mocking of Kali. There's no mocking of Muhammad. There's only mocking of Jesus 24/7, 365 in this society. And on a world stage, of course they do something like this. We have a skater. And listen, you could say, well, he was on, this is what people will say, the lukewarm, because I've seen people commenting on it saying, I'm a Christian, we thought this was beautiful. When a guy named Mark Kondratiuk does a 5-minute skate wearing a crown of thorns on his outfit, and of course, uses Jesus Christ Superstar as the song uses, of course, which is a blasphemous mockery of it's a satire is what it is. It makes light of Christ's sacrifice for humanity. That's what it does. For anyone out there who's like, I like Jesus Christ Superstar. Well, it's nice that you liked it, but guess what? It's a satire. It's a mockery. A musical about the King of Kings mocking his death. And of course, I'll get into that in a second. But the entire skate is to Jesus Christ Superstar, and then the climax, of course they have to use this part, is the sound and the scene from Jesus Christ Superstar when Christ is being whipped. And that's the big climax. You can hear in the background the counting of the whips. Right? Let me show you. This is the skate. See him, right, wearing the crown of thorns on his outfit there. And this is the scene that was playing in the background. Oh, but that's not mockery, of course. I love where we live in this sensitive society. And this is the thing. I'm all for free speech. So if these people want to mock God, go ahead. Because God will not be mocked, and they will pay in the end. But we want the same right to attack back. But that's the thing, you're not allowed to. They could just mock Jesus 24/7, which is what they do. They hide behind certain communities, which we all know of, so you can't say anything to them, right? In real life, in the real world, off the computer, these people would have dookie running down their legs if they ever came across someone such as myself, or most of you who listen to my channel. But, don't hurt people's feelings. We're real sensitive. Oh, but when it comes to Jesus, we could mock the King of Kings, right? And what do they say? Well, they're like, Christians there's so many of them. They're the big bad bully on the block. Huh? Are there so many Christians? I don't see too many, except, I see a portion of them because I see people follow my channel. I see other, Christian ministers and, who have ministries, and people are, okay. But I see a world falling away, and I don't see any other gods ever mocked. These false gods. I don't see Kali and Shiva. It's just always Jesus, right? And of course the guy uses that specific timing in the song where Jesus is suffering and being whipped. Yeah, that's not mockery, right? Then you get the comments on Twitter. Everyone's like, I am loving this. Jesus couldn't pull off those, these zombies just mocking Christ, which I feel for these people, because man, are they going to get it. And I hope, to be a window washer in heaven is an honor, right? He who shall be first will be last. He who will be last shall be first. If the Bible talks about John the Baptist being last, who is the most perfect man, just to be in heaven is a gift. But I just hope that I have a chance to be on the battlefield with some of these people and just flick them. into the pit. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. So not only do we have that, if you go and look at this guy's Instagram account, he of course has one-eye symbolism, right? He's got, this is his Instagram. He's got a picture of a person with one eye. I'm sure that's coincidental, right? And of course, people will be like, well, he claims to be a Christian, so it was an honor to Jesus. Oh, it's an honor to Jesus. Playing him getting whipped while you're rolling around dancing like a fairy on skates. Yeah, it's a real honor. It's blasphemous. It's absolutely blasphemous is what it is. But they're allowed to do things like that. And anything that we do or say, of course, gets shut down and our free speech gets taken away. But not for long, because a Christian uprising is coming. I'll tell you that much. Then we get, of course, I wanted to point out with Jesus Christ Superstar, because, of course, there's lukewarm Christians who think, because, you know, they grew up and they heard it, and they were like, I love the music. So, to me, it's not blasphemous, right? Because that's what we live in, a world where people won't give up the things that they love, that are of this world, and realize that they're satanic. I mean, you know how many songs and stuff that I used to like when I was growing up? Or not really songs, I was never really into music, but you know, things that are people or whatever that I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then you learn out that these people are saying this, just give up on it, right? Like I always say about Disney, you know, when you realize what it is, you just give it the finger and say, bye-bye, I don't need this garbage, and I'm not going to indoctrinate my family or my kids with it. But people, they don't like to do that. So they love the Jesus Christ Superstar, apparently, and they don't even realize, number one, that Judas is the protagonist in it. You can look it up for yourself. It says it right there. Do a Google search. Go to the wiki page, principal roles. Judas, instead of being, you know, Judas, it's Judas the aristocrat right here. One of Jesus' 12 apostles, concerned for the poor and the consequences of Jesus' fame. Oh, right, because that's the story, of course, of Christ giving his life, right? Giving his life to give and save humanity. Oh, it's about Jesus' fame, and Judas was concerned for the poor. I don't remember that in the Bible, Jesus being a good man. And of course, you know, they have Judas depicted as a black man in it, which was a big controversy in the 70s, which, you know, obviously is just more race baiting, because obviously when Christians see this, we all think of Judas one way, and why would they depict the only black person in it as the disciples is Judas, which is just deliberately done and despicable. The whole thing is just nothing but a mockery. It's a mockery. They have the stuff with Mary Magdalene, the follower of Jesus, who finds herself falling in love with him, right? So this whole thing is about, you know, making Jesus more of a man and not the Son of God, right? And that whole blasphemous, you know, Mary Magdalene and Jesus baby thing that they try to do with, what was that stupid thing, the Da Vinci Code, and a lot of people believe that this is, I mean, this is blasphemy is what it is. So this is a world stage, and no one's concerned that, I mean, no one, not even concerned, nobody sees this stuff, right? And nobody, I try to point this out to people who are non-believers, and I say, all the time in my videos, do you ever see any other God mock? Who do you see put in the spotlight, I say, right? And if you can't see that Satan is constantly praised, you're crazy. I show you it. Every celebrity who's worshipped in this country, and you know, the other countries have their own celebrities who are worshipped. These dummies worship these celebrities. And what do the celebrities do over and over? They worship Satan. They show satanic symbolism. They literally flat out say it in their songs, show you it, okay? And then who do they mock? And who can you openly mock in this country, in this world? They mock the King of Kings. That's who they mock. Nobody else. No other gods get mocked. And you can't, well, it's because Christians are the, you know, the most people are Christian. That's what they want you to think. But we know the gate, you know, the path is narrow. And we know that a lot of Christians, this is the problem, is that there's so many Christians who are lukewarm. And I hate to say that because I don't know what's in people's hearts, but I just see the behavior of people. And they're tweeting, and they're like, this is so cool that they're doing Jesus, you know, Superstar, and he's got the thing on, oh, I'm sure God's looking at it. He's like, this is a wonderful ceremony for, this is just wonderful, right? This is great. He's got the thorns on, there's no mockery here. He's spinning on ice. You know, these unmanly men who were like 13 pounds in some stupid event where, you know, these types of things, I look at them and I'm like, this is not what God put people here on earth to do. And look, it's not a shot at you if you like to ice skate, that's fine. But to be doing triple twirls on ice, it's the same as these people who jump out of airplanes with parachutes. right? Like, I like extreme sports. I wouldn't be testing God and doing that stuff, personally. But, okay, if your life's that sad and you need to jump out of an airplane with a parachute on and do flips in the air, have a great time, okay? If something happens, nobody cares, right? Because you're asking for it. But, God's not looking down going, what an honor that this man is doing this for me, that he's skating at the Olympics with this mocking song of me being whipped. I don't think so. There's a reason that they do this stuff. They shove it in our faces and flip us off constantly and get away with it. The question is, when is the time for the Christians, all of us, and we don't even want to identify as the term Christians, followers of Christ, to stand up and say, you know what? We're living in a world where people are getting canceled left and right. Satanic, the Satanists are allowed in the schools and things like that. Okay, well, when are we allowed to use our voice? This is what we believe. And if we have a problem with certain groups and communities, who are just going after kids and things like that, who are clearly mentally sick, then we should be allowed to say it. Oh, but we're not. And then they can come out and they can spit on the King of Kings, our King, Jesus Christ, who died for the salvation of men. Jesus died for mankind. This world will be over if Christ didn't come. And people out there still have a choice. Despite mocking Jesus, they still can be saved by the blood of Christ. And instead they laugh, well, everything's a big joke. Let's figure skate and make fun of them. And we'll do the depiction that's such a hurtful thing. For anyone that's seen like The Passion of the Christ, and I don't like to promote movies like that, with the Hollywood side of it. But I remember seeing The Passion of the Christ, and people were crying, including myself in the theater, right, when Jesus was getting whipped. It was so brutal, right? Well, this is just a mockery of that. Like, and he's ice skating to it, dancing and doing twirls with a flame up his rear end. Give me a break. Give me an utter break. But, this stuff just goes unnoticed. People see it and they don't think much of it. I saw this was trending. I saw it trending. It was trending on Twitter. Trending. People were talking about it, loving it. So I just immediately had to see it. I was disgusted and enraged by it. But it trends, and the people love it, and they joke about it. There's so many people mocking Jesus, including this guy who's got an all-seeing eye on his page. And I don't care. You could be like, oh, he says he's a follower of Christ, so let's take it easy on him. All these people claim to be. Look at their behavior, and I'm not perfect. I get it. I do stupid things. Sometimes I say stupid things, and people go, he's not Christian. Look how he talks. He yells, which isn't really fair from the standpoint of yelling, but because I'm passionate. But, they're going to see me going around, Jesus Christ, I'm going to dance to it, and I'm going to skate to it. I'm going to, mock Jesus being crucified like these people do. It's sickening. But God is watching, and these people will pay. So if you didn't see it, I thought I'd let you know. And if you think it's coincidental, I think the guy ended up getting the best score, at least from the clip that I showed you there. I saw at the end he was in first place at the time. I don't really know the Olympic rankings because personally, I don't spend I don't know if you can notice this about me, but I don't spend my spare time watching figure skating. Okay? If you like to do that, that's fine by you. If it's okay with me, that's your time, not mine. But this is the one event I think that most people know the Winter Olympics for, because half the events you go, what is this? There's a guy skating down slopes, right? It's not, you're like, oh, is this guy going to ski? Is it a race to see who's the fastest skier? There's giant mountains, they're going in and out, and then they do a moonsault flip in the air. You're like, what is this? Nobody knows what the heck's going on, huh? Right? But the figure skating, people are like, oh, the figure skating, like Nancy Kerrigan and all that stuff. Christina Amaguchi, right? Even I know some of their names. Right, just like the summer, the swimming and the gymnastics, there's a few sports, hockey, right? And this is the thing that most eyeballs are on. So what a surprise that somebody would do something like this. And of course they'll say, no, Cole, you got it all wrong. He was just trying to honor him with this blasphemous music, to especially pick the scene where Jesus is being whipped because it's just so inspiring. Yeah, really inspiring. I think I'm going to go throw up now. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. I hope to see you guys over there. I want to thank the patrons and thank you guys for your support here on YouTube. Please make sure you sub to my backup channels if you have the time. I'd appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. God bless all of you and your families.